All right, so today is Friday, February 5th. I've made this intro twice. I keep calling it Wednesday for some reason. It's actually Friday, February 5th. I want to talk a little bit today just about the business in general. I do have some thrift store videos to tack on here at the end. But I just want to get some of my thoughts down so I can look back at this later. As hopefully a turning point in how I look at the business, because I'm starting now to realize and appreciate how hard it really is to run a business. And I've got to say, I have some immense respect for people who are out there doing their own thing. It's not an easy thing to do to run a business. It's not an easy thing to do to start a business, especially if you really don't know what you're doing. I've worked my entire life in an office environment. I've basically been trained to work for other people. I went to college, I got a degree, I now work in the field that I went to college for. I go to work every day, somebody else tells me what to do, and I execute that task, or those tasks, plural. What I don't do is assume the risk. So what I'm really starting to learn and appreciate as I get into this and run my own business, or at least attempt to, is the fact that I'm responsible for literally everything. And I guess that's kind of obvious, but it wasn't just so readily apparent that there are things like customer service. There are things like getting inventory and packing orders and shipping the orders, doing the research, all of the pieces that are involved with running a business. When you work for somebody else, you go to work Tuesday morning and you clock in, or you just show up, your salary, so you just show up. You have a set task. You have a set list of duties that you do every day, or you know, maybe those list of duties change on a day-to-day basis, but you have a pretty good idea of what your day-to-day job is. It's already defined for you. Somebody else above you who is assuming that risk has laid out what your job is to do. So you're gonna make whatever your base salary is or your hourly wage is to come in, do this list of tasks, and go home. Never mind where the stuff comes from. So, for example, when you go to work, you're driving to a building. Well, somebody else has found that building. Somebody else is paying the monthly rent on that building. Somebody else is paying the electricity to turn on the computer. Somebody else bought that computer. It's all these little minutia details that somebody else has taken care of for you, created a job for you, and it's just paying you a wage to come and do certain parts of it. They're assuming all the risk. You're just making a paycheck. And I say just, that isn't to demean the jobs that we do as working for somebody else. It's just to say, when you're working for somebody else, that somebody else has assumed all the risk. And man, I gotta say, I have so much respect, because it's not easy to do, especially if you work full-time somewhere else. and you're trying to start a business on the side, there's so much you have to do. When I'm driving down the road and I drive past a strip mall now, and I look in that strip mall and I see a barber shop or a hair salon or a tire store or a boutique or a golf store or a cell phone shop or a smoke shop or whatever it is, or when I'm driving down the road and a box truck drives past me and I see on the side of it so-and-so's moving company, or you know, Joe's Plumber, or whatever it is. You know, these are people who have taken the risk, they've opened a business, they've bet on themselves, and they're just doing it. They're just doing it. They're running a small business, they've assumed that risk, and they're doing it. They have, man, I have so much respect for these people. They are so much more courageous than I am. They have the confidence in themselves to bet on themselves and to just go for it. Whereas myself, I am terrified to take that next step and just go for it, and just fully bet on myself and go for it. Because I'm seeing how hard it is. And I mean, frankly, I'm a little afraid to fail, if I'm honest. Yeah. Just being truthful. I mean, the odds of success, let me put it to you this way. I just did my taxes for 2020 for the business. And man, that wasn't an easy thing to figure out how to do. It wasn't hard, but I mean, it wasn't easy. Probably should have paid somebody. Pretty sure I did them right. Almost positive I've done them correctly. But in the entire year of 2020, we did about 36,000 bucks in sales. Nothing big, but it's not chump change, I guess, either. And after it was all said and done, from a profit perspective, we made about 4,300 bucks. Now our gross profit was about 33,000 after you take away returns and a few other things that we took away there from the Schedule C that was done for us from GoDaddy bookkeeping we've been keeping all year, which has really helped. But so about 33,000 bucks in gross sales. And then after it was all said and done, after cost of goods and all of our expenses and everything that we put into it, what we got back out of it was about $4,300. A little over $4 grand for the whole year. I mean, frankly, I mean, that's just not enough. That's not enough profit for all the work I've had to do. And there's been a lot of work. And it's not necessarily just the man hours of getting items and packing items and putting them into a box and taking them to the post office or to FedEx. It's all the stress, it's all the worrying of running a business and trying to make it successful and trying to answer all the customer questions and trying to build a brand, trying to think through everything that has to be thought through. Meanwhile, you're working full-time at a career, not just a job that I clock in and clock out of. It's tough. And I have nobody to ask questions to, so I'm building this completely by myself. I'm just going down this road and I think this is right. Let's just go and find out. 4,300 bucks is what I had to show for it at the end. That's my first year of being in business. You know, gotta learn what you're doing. Have to have that first year of $4,300 to maybe have the next year of $43,000. I don't know. But I've also just done my taxes, and out of the 4,300 bucks in profit, we have to give Uncle Sam $1,100. I mean, it is what it is. You got to pay your taxes, I guess. But so I've worked all year, worked my ass off, frankly. And we're going crazy over there. So I've worked my tail off all year to open this business and get it going and get myself established. And we've made about 4,300 bucks in profit. Out of that 4,300 bucks, we're gonna write a check. We just wrote a check electronically to Uncle Sam for $1,100. Now, I had a small return from my full-time job, so it helped to sort of offset what I owed for the business. So, but anyway, we made 4,300. We paid 1,100 in taxes. 3,200 bucks for the year. All that work we've done all year long to make about 3 grand. You know, now 3 grand is not something to laugh at, but we've done a lot of work for 3,000 bucks. But at the same time, we're building the business, right? We're building the brand. We're hopefully building a channel. You know, I don't know, we'll see. But hopefully, you know, it's not just for 3 grand. It'll be for much more down the road. But anyway, I'm just, you know, I'm starting to have a huge respect, immense respect for people who are taking the chance, who have bet on themselves, and they're running their own business. They're assuming the risk, and they're doing it. You know, I have questions about health insurance and dental insurance and what to do about a retirement, you know, and a 401k, and you know, all of the things that at least I have as benefits from my full-time job that I'll have to provide for myself. And I'm just not sure. Well, I mean, I know for a fact that the business isn't profitable enough to provide even just health insurance for myself. So, you know, there's a lot to take into consideration. There's a lot to have to just sit and think about and chew on. And meanwhile, I've got the full-time job I have to focus and think about as well. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And then you look and you say, well, you made $3,000 last year. Well, okay. So anyway, it's just the realization that this isn't an easy thing to do. And getting the inventory consistently is going to be difficult, just because of the way that we know, at least currently, to go about getting it, and that's just through these auctions. I'm looking into some advertising. I'm looking into potentially advertise on some street signs and stuff throughout Tampa to put the business name up, my phone number, and see if we can start getting some people to bring us inventory. But, you know, we'll see. But that's going to be the next step, is I do want to spend some money. I want to advertise. I looked up this one company. They do the sign, like the benches that you sit on, the bus benches or what have you around Tampa. And for one bench, for one sign, I think it's $139 a month. And that's with a 1-year contract. I'm asking them what they'll do for just like a 1-month trial, just so I can kind of try it out and see how much, you know, 1 or 2 months would cost me. And then just try that and see if I can drum up some sales that way, and see if I can get people to bring me inventory as opposed to me having to go out and find it. Not that I'm going to stop looking for it, but just as another avenue, as a way to get inventory. I mean, surely I can't base my business solely on getting inventory from this one liquidator. Although they're good, and when you can win the auctions, it's friggin' great. But if you don't win the auctions, and there are people who are willing to take a 12% return, you know, we're gonna have to find some other avenues. So anyway, you know, I'm just having that realization that, you know, man, this is hard. This is a really difficult thing to do. I don't have an in anywhere, so I'm just having to figure everything out as I go and just hope that it works out. I'm at a point really where what I need to do is quit the full-time job and focus fully on the business. I mean, it's really the only way I think that I'm gonna see what the true potential is. But man, that's just a scary thing to do. It's such a scary thing to do. To walk away, not necessarily walk away forever, but to walk away from the job that you've built up, from the current career that you've built up, the current salary and benefits that you've built up, to walk away for a few years. I mean, I work in tech. If I walk away from tech for a few years, there's a possibility that my skills will atrophy, especially at the current rate that tech moves. So I would have to sort of come back in at sort of a lower level, you know? But we'll see. We'll see. So anyway, that is sort of where I'm at right now with that. Just trying to make sense of it all and trying to figure out, the proper way to move from working full-time for somebody else where they assume the risk to working full-time for yourself where you're assuming all the risk. It's a scary thing to do. It's a hard thing to do. Especially when you've gotten yourself to a point in your professional career where you're making a certain amount of money and you walk away from that to start your own business that you could potentially fail. It's tough. But I'm so over technology and working in tech, I'm ready to just walk away. Burnt out, whatever the word you want to use. I'm just over it completely. The idea of having to continue to stay on that bleeding edge and to keep the IT skills current, it's exhausting. It is exhausting. And legitimately, I want nothing more than to walk away and just, you know, work reliable resellers, but it's tough. It's tough. Anyway, so I've got some thrift store videos I'm going to tack on to the end here. I just wanted to get these thoughts down so I could come back and watch this later and hopefully in a year or two from now and kind of laugh. Say, oh yeah, I remember being there. Look where I am now. So we'll see. As of today, February 5th, I still have the full-time job and I'm still working on building reliable resellers. I like the name Reliable Resellers, but Reliable Retail, I kind of like that too. Either way, I'm keeping the logo. I like the logo a lot. And reliable will be in there somewhere. Reliable Retail, Reliable Resellers, Reliable Wholesale, Reliable Secondhand Store, something, I don't know. Reliable Boutique, I don't know. Maybe this is all pie in the sky. I have no idea. I have no idea. Just talking. Just talking. It's just to get my thoughts out there and something I can come back to later and look at and, you know, again, hopefully point to is saying, aha, there it was. There it was. Anyway, so I've got some I've got some thrift store videos I'm going to tack on to the end here. Haven't found much of anything lately at these thrift stores, but I do still go. There is a chance of, you know, finding that gem. And they're not far. I have a little loop I like to do. 6 or 7 mile loop, not a big deal. So anyway, you know, that's it for an intro here for me. This is mostly for me to come back and watch later. So let's go to some thrift stores and let's see what we can find. Let's head into Community Thrift. I don't come here on Wednesdays much. It has been a while since I've been here during the week. We are busy today. Made in China. We donated that. We have not found anything here in a long time. Used to leave here with lots of stuff. Not so much anymore. Cutco for $8.75. Yeah, February. These guys know what they're doing. I don't think they'd make that kind of mistake. So we're back here where the furniture is, and those trees are gone, so somebody bought them. That's what I get for waiting. I liked them a lot. They were just super expensive, so we didn't pull the trigger on them. Bunch. let's go in here. It's a nice little chair.
Dạ, dạ, dạ nó bông rồi. Đi ra đi ra đi. No la di non commettere sarà presto professionale.
This table, look at these chairs. Looks like a, I don't know, something. Looks like something. Well, they got a bunch of nothing. Pretty normal. Pretty normal. Pretty normal. Alright, here is the Hope House. This is another place we haven't bought anything at in quite some time. Look at that thing. That thing's in bad shape. These guys have lots of stuff from China. Like it'll literally have Chinese writing on it. A lot of this stuff. Costco to Red, White, and Blue Thrift. It's a cool looking table. I just like the way it looks. We don't need it or anything.